David Francisco just on the outside of the ring pushed away Remy on the outside of the ring. There's frustration, real life frustration from David Francisco. You spoke about it going in, his York Hall dream, and right now that dream, I'm not going to say it's over, but it's put on hold, isn't it? He will not be entering the Revolution Rumble.
I'm calling this series Road to Your Call because I really believe it. When I say I really believe it, it's because it comes from real confidence. You know, Andy Quilden says, he said it when I was next to him on commentary in Sheffield. Basically, he says that the key component for success in professional wrestling is confidence in your own ability. But real confidence, that comes from here, not this confidence that I've relied on in the early stages of my career. Now, I believe I'm going to your call, and this belief is belief that is coming from the same place that success in professional wrestling comes from. So I'm burning the bridge, I guess. If I put this out and I end up not going to your call, it's embarrassing, sure, but it's the bet that I'm making. It's the bet that I'm going to have to lay in.
I wouldn't do the handshake and stuff personally. I feel like you shake hands at the end.
I feel like we have to.
And I know contenders, you have to, but I just feel like you're showing him too much respect, and that could be a downfall. I wouldn't shake his hand next week. I know it's a little detail, but I think it's just all mind games, right?
I know that I can win the mind games over him.
I think you
if
can.
I win, like I'm not going to be as powerful as him. I'm probably not going to be able to hit, especially with like upper body stuff.
Look, you got more experience than him. I feel like as Josh Graham, nice guy, soft heart, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think he looks big, but he's too soft deep down.
Just now, the thing that I was doing that was working is that I was out grappling him, and I can out grapple Joshua James. I need to just out wrestle him. I think he has the upper hand on upper body strikes, but I am better with lower body strikes.
Kicks,
kicks and boots and all that. I can surprise him. I can catch him with that, and because of that, I can stay away from him.
Yeah.
Because if he grabs me, I'm at disadvantage.
Another thing you can use, even though you're not a high flyer, is the high flying. Coming off the top rope, that big clothesline. Mm-hmm. I've seen you do it, so maybe use that. Use a bit more of your speed. You're faster than him. Mm-hmm. That's going to be your advantage. That's what you got to do. See the speed? Mm-hmm. You use your speed there, hit him with a kick. Maybe it was too early in the match here, but we did it in the end, near the end of the match when you're a bit tired.
Grind him down cardio-wise. Obviously, we've been working on making sure my tank is and then when he's tired, that's when he can't like defend himself enough, and we can get those boots in.
For him, he has to win the match early. For you, because you'll be doing your conditioning, you can afford to wait out a bit longer.
I've never beaten Joshua James. We've met once during the first year of our contender run, and he defeated me. I'm not the same wrestler that I was then.
Don't worry about picking him up just to prove a point. I reckon you can afford to not to prove something to yourself. Let me pick him up because I know I can. I reckon if you just do the game plan, kicks and joint manipulation, you're onto a winner.
I don't know if my ego lets me do that.
That's what I mean.
I think that if I can ruckus him, I'm gonna pick him up.
That's the problem with pro wrestling. I'm telling you this,
mate.
but I contradict myself. My ego makes me do some stupid things. I sometimes go for a moonsault. I miss 99% of the time. Sometimes our ego takes over. So
like sitting here,
hypocrite.
absolutely, we do what you're doing. And when out there and the crowd is like going for it, and you want to. I hear you. I've been there. I know.
If he makes a mistake of letting you hit him, you need to fucking give him 1 or 2 or maybe 3 in a row.
Will you lose respect if I go for his eyes?
Well, you know, I've had my history of TNB, so have you had your history of...
I'm trying my best not to. I'm trying my best not to.
As a contender, it might be frowned upon, but you know what? This is a big opportunity. York Hall, Bethnal Green, Revolution Rumble. You do what you got to do to win.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's
fair.
I think anyone can understand that. And if I'm being honest, in the past 2 years, you've had the better 2 years than he has. He's had good opportunities and great matches, but you know, so have you. But I feel like you've had the better opportunities and the better matches. So your experience level compared to his is up here. So I feel like, and you know what it's like to lose such a match against him. And you don't want that to happen again. So I feel you got momentum,
and I feel that as well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I feel
you need to win. Yeah, in your heart,
and that makes a difference.
There were questions on why I would join the contenders division, having in mind the level of experience that I have, and maybe even myself questioned that at points, but I trusted my instincts, I bet on myself, and I trusted Andy's vision for me. And 2 years removed now, I can see that he was right. the development that I've had throughout the past 2 years, especially since I came back from my broken arm, and what I've been able to show in the ring lately with some of the top names in the country, there's been a lot of groundwork, work that people don't see, and maybe it's my fault for not showing it, work that happens here. It's very interesting that we came into 2024 and there's a lot of pundits and opinions that are saying, both inside the locker room and out there in the crowd, that suddenly it feels like Dave Francisco had a huge jump of development. I didn't wake up one day in January and get it. I've been working hard here to learn and get better, and now the results are coming in. Even if the wins aren't there, it's the respect that I've earned from my peers and my veterans. It's how close I'm getting to winning, how I feel like my place in the roster is earned. I know I am the best wrestler that I've been ever in my life. And I know from here that I can defeat Joshua James.
It's good that I'm like getting away from you because you clearly wanted to rush this.
I don't like to say this about it's only a confidence thing, maybe.
That's okay.
Maybe a confidence thing.
Yeah.
You know,
I am.
Maybe when you're in there with people that, you know, that in the eyes of people are above you, your confidence gets the better on you, and it takes you a while to get into the match.
I've always felt this when I'm like wearing the contender here and being a contender.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. You need to get over that hump.
Like, when I'm in other places, like there's some sort of subconscious bias that I have to it because I'm basically being told, you're not there yet.
Right.
Therefore, I believe I'm not there yet.
You're no different professional wrestler. You're no different athlete. You're still in there. You wrestle the same. You are the same. But I know what you're saying. Having that label might play mind games with you, but just know that no one else is thinking that.
Yeah.
That's just I think that's just you.
Yeah.
There's some of the great people that have been contenders and still are contenders. I mean, I could go to Brendan White, even though you had your history with him. Gabe. Look, it doesn't help that I'm trying. I know this is an issue with you, and I'm trying to use that as mind games. Psyching you out. So
You're a piece of crap.
I know that's deep down.
I respect it.
I do it with a smile and a nod, but do it with a smile. No, it means no harm.
The thing is, that's who you are.
Yeah.
And you realize that you need to do it to get at that mental level that you have to be successful in a ring.
Yeah.
If you're not doing this,
you're
not going to win. And you're basically doing what you're telling me to do.
Yeah. You need to, have a belief.
I was robbed of my shot at the Revolution Rumble last year. I don't think it's an excuse. I'm just stating the fact and I'm accepting it for what it is. I'm moving on, so I'm not trying to hold on to it. But that's the truth. Yota Tsuji did not defeat me clean. He used the kendo stick, and I get it. 'Tis what 'tis, right? But truth is, I don't think that I had a fair shot at the Revolution Rumble. And on the same night, I made sure that the same thing didn't happen for Joshua James. I came into the Contenders Division feeling like they're a team and we have to look out for each other, but I've learned, one of the biggest lessons that I've learned while being in the Contenders Division is that that's not exactly the way professional wrestling goes. I made sure that Joshua James would not suffer the same fate. I immediately went in and took the kendo stick from Yota Tsuji's hands. Joshua James ended up winning, and not once did he acknowledge the fact that I had his back, and that if he was in the Revolution Rumble, in part was because I made sure that things would be fair to him the same way that they were not fair to me. He never said thank you. I am not bitter about not getting a thank you, about getting a recognition of it. I just learned what I needed to learn. At the end of the day, he was so focused on his own journey and his own development that he wasn't able to take a step back, actually open his eyes, look around him, and see that his debut at Your Call didn't happen only because of him.
I definitely feel like you need to, from the off, show more confidence in yourself and your abilities, because it's there. And I go back to what I said earlier. the run you've had recently and who you've been in the ring with.
This match and then the Agogo match and the Robbie X match, they've definitely
Absolutely.
like lifted that.
Yeah.
Because I feel, and especially getting the feedback from, you know, it is like as contenders, we get to the back and there's like so many people being like, here's the game plan, here's what you should have done, here's
Yeah.
And when I come out of those matches lately and I'm not getting as much time spent on that, there's people like that are complimenting my choices, my performance, the things that I did there, and even if I didn't get to win, like I'm showcasing a different level than I was when on that first match we saw.
And also you got to look at it like this. Not many contenders can kick out after taking a Death Valley driver on the apron. So, and you did that. You're really in control here. And this, you don't look like a contender here. No, well, your perception of what a contender is.
Yeah.
You're not really showing it here. You're showing a skilled veteran of the game. So just remember that's who you are. You hung in there with like first ever champion Robbie X, one of the best cruiserweight champions of all time. So I definitely see you being Joshua James hasn't had the matches you've had in the past year. It's yours for the taking. And I'm not just saying that. I truly believe that. I think it's your time and who's happening.
Thanks for your time.
A year ago, his performance to me was about the contenders division. But to him, I don't think it was. This year, I've learned that lesson. I am focused on myself and my own development. Unfortunately, this year, there's only one spot for contenders in Revolution Rumble. As much as I respect Joshua James, I am not going to let what happened to me last year happen again.